Okay, we are on. Welcome to the next video. This video is about one of the apps, the Blue Dot app. I'm going to go in depth into how to use it and how to make the most out of it at this stage. There's more, even more than this video, but for now, I'm going to share the main tips. And you can see here the screen of my phone. So I'm going to literally open the app and walk you through all the steps via my phone live so you can see it. You might notice that on my phone I have some affirmations. I grouped the apps into affirmations, like I grow into this brand and so on and so forth. It's, you can try it if you want, but it's just for fun. And you see there's a part that is I am vibrant and radiant. This is where the Healy apps are. And I do believe that they make me more radiant and vibrant. So I'm going to open this one, Heal, Advisor, Analyze. So I invite you to do the same steps together with me with your app and or take notes at the same time. So the whole point is that you do this later effectively, and you don't have to redo any of this. Like you don't have to rewatch the video. So I'm going to open the Blue Dot app, basically. And I'm going to connect it to the Healy. Hopefully you have done that already, like you have linked, right, your Healy with your Blue Dot app. If you haven't, it's a step before. So if you have linked it, you have here, I have the coaching analysis, which is, you might not have, but just to let you know, I purchased this extra. Today we're going to focus mainly on the aura analysis here and the resonance analysis. I'm going to start with the aura analysis. I'm going to walk you through the 2 scans. This app is about scanning, and I'm going to walk you through the 2 different types of scans and how you can use this. For me, just to let you know, I normally only do the scans in the morning. So I wake up, I'm still actually in bed, and I just do the scans. Basically, I turn on the Healy and I scan myself once. I don't do this 15 times a day. It's exhausting, but I do this once in the morning and, run all the scans. And so that serves me as guidance for which programs to run through the day, that day specifically, okay? So the first one I'm going to show you is the aura analysis. Well, just here, you should have your own profile. Okay, so I have my profile. So you should have already created your own profile. If you haven't already, please do that. So you go to the client list, you say create new clients here, add new clients. Okay, you can actually add a profile for whatever you want, a building, whatever you want. You can add profiles for friends, family members, etc. Here I have my mom on second position. And so this is what it looks like to create a profile. So you add a picture, like a current selfie, doesn't matter. Like you just add a picture of your current state, because it's just gonna scan your, get your aura basically from the picture. Here you record your vibration. So the way you record your vibration, the Healy will tell you, but you hold the Healy on your right hand on, of course, and then you press record. And so why is this important? The Healy, so it's going to send out frequencies to your specific vibration. So when you turn a frequency program on, it's going to search for your specific vibration in the information field in the universe. And every person has a specific fingerprint, and every person has a specific vibration. So it's really important to record your vibration. So when it's you want to send out vibrations, like frequencies, is going to send them to you specifically, or to a person that you have selected in your list that has a different vibration. Okay, so recording the vibration, really important. And then you add name, etc., date of birth, place of birth, and that's it. Like the rest is not necessary at this point. So you have your profile, very important. And now you can start doing the analysis. So we go to aura, the first type of scan. So here I go to record my aura. So it's searching for my Healy. You hold the Healy next to it, by the way, turned on. You hold the Healy next to it, and you have just a little bit of patience. It's going to find the Healy. You're going to select it. And now it's actually recording my aura, my current energetic state. And it shows the current levels of my different chakras. Okay, so what you want to do at this stage is actually select all of the chakra levels, because otherwise it only analyzes some, and you want to analyze all of them. So you select manually all of them and you click start analysis. Every time you click on the pink button at the bottom here, and here you select include high negative irrelevancies, because what it does is it selects the subconscious frequencies too, next to the conscious ones. So really helpful. Start analysis. And now it is actually going a bit deeper into each one of the chakras you have selected that you want to have analyzed. Okay, so here we are. It's always interesting to see your results, right? And so here you can basically scroll down, basically, like through all of your results of your chakras. And this is like, I'm going to come back to this, but here you press, basically after you have read everything, basically there's a lot of information in every scan. It goes very much in depth. The idea, you can read it. I don't read it every time because it's a lot of information, and I have to say it's quite confronting. So, you know, like I always warn people before doing a scan, if it's the first time, like just get in a headspace where you're ready to actually go through some deep stuff, because it's quite confronting and quite deep. And also very often it's things you don't want to be hearing. So it's helpful to tell the person that is doing the scan, whether it's yourself or a friend that wants you to scan them, like to just warn them. So after you've read everything, the analysis for the day, you press vibrate for, you can select the amount of time. You can even leave it for like 8 hours overnight. Some people do that, but actually the founders of Healy, like the people like that work at Healy, they explain that there's generally no point as a general rule to send yourself a vibration here of like, you know, longer than 1 minute 20 seconds, because this app is meant as like a dart, you know, to send darts, to send like based on your specific results, you send like very, very specific vibrations that are targeting exactly the result that you just got. And 1 minute 20 seconds is enough for that, maximum 2 minutes. But they recommend there's no point in doing it more. It's more helpful, they say, to do shorter vibrations on the results of the scan more often through the day than a longer one once. That's what they say. Okay, so here you press start and it's going to be sending, basically it's going to be sending harmonizing frequencies based on the results of that day at that moment for yourself. I mean, you can also read it. There's some affirmations in there, so you can read them out loud as you go through the results. But here is basically going to, you know, vibrate for 1 minute 20. I'm going to stop it just to move forward, basically. So you have vibrated. It's really important that once you get the results of this chakra scan, that you vibrate for 1 minute 20 seconds. I do this, I'm still in bed by this point, right? This is still the morning in bed, and I'm just like, I have scanned myself. I see what the situation is with my chakras, and I get, and I vibrate for 1 minute 20. Okay. The Healy was on the whole time, and it's close to my body. Normally they say that, you know, it has to be like 1 meter around you. So the furthest that it should be, it's 1 meter, because otherwise you're not benefiting from the vibrations. If you're wearing the coil, if you are wearing the bracelets, it's fine. It's like you have it on you. And I vibrated, that's it, for 1 minute 20. Now, if I go back here, there's like a certain things that I want to share regarding like interpreting your results, basically. So let me come back to the results here. On the top left, you're going to see three pieces of information. On the top left, you see a 94%, you see an 8, and you see LMM. Okay, so this I want to explain because it's really helpful. Like here, you're going a bit deeper into the rabbit hole, but it's really helpful to know what that means if you want to look into your results once in a while, a bit deeper. The percentage is how relevant this is for you right now, how much of a thing this is for you right now. So this is relatively relevant for me, right? The next one is a bit less relevant. Normally it's ranked in order, basically, of relevancy. So that's how relevant it is. When there's a minus in front of the percentage, which might happen, it's not the case here, but it might happen, there's a minus in front of the percentage. That means that is something that is subconscious. It's something that is in your energetic field, is in your chakra analysis, but it's not completely in your consciousness. There's a part of it that is still subconscious that still needs to come to the surface. So it's really interesting to see, like, oh, sometimes there's things you don't want to hear, or sometimes there's things that you thought you've worked through, and somehow subconsciously there's still a part of that is still there, and it, like, the healing will bring it up. That's why I'm saying it's quite confronting. So that's for the first one, the percentage. It can be positive or it can be negative, and the highest the negative, so if it's minus 90%, is like very strong but subconscious. Okay, and if it's -1, it's less strong. Okay, second number, 8. This is how far away you are from overcoming this. So here, and the highest number is 8. So just a reminder here that if you're not taking notes, please take some notes, because you might not remember everything. Okay, so just make sure that you really get all of this. So you don't have to rewatch the video. So the percentage, the 8. So here the highest number is 8. It's between 1 and 8. Yes. And 8 means, okay, you are relatively far away from overcoming that. Like, we need to work on this before. If you have a 2 instead of an 8, here it's a 7, it's a bit less. But if you have a 2 instead of an 8, it means like, okay, we're almost there. We almost figured it out. All right, like you almost overcame this challenge or this pattern. Okay, so it's a good sign. And LMM, I'm going to share, I'm going to share a picture that helps you read, interpret basically these letters, because sometimes it's going to be LM, sometimes it's going to be C5, sometimes it's going to be D12, like all kinds of different codes. And I have a grid that helps you interpret what everything means. And it's really, really interesting, because some codes are going to indicate that this is a pattern that comes from your actions. Another code is going to indicate that it comes from your thinking or your mindset. Some of them come from your parents, some patterns come from your grandparents, some patterns come from your ancestors, some of them are karmic, so that you're carrying them over from past and or parallel lives. So it's really, really interesting. So that's it for this. We have basically done here aura analysis. Okay, so quick recap: you press an aura, you select whoever you want to scan, in this case myself, you record. Okay, you press the pink button every time. You don't have to go here, it's not really necessary. Like, this just gives you an idea of like the status of your chakras, but it's not really the main thing. So you press the pink button every time. Okay, we select all of them once again. Pink button. Here we select every time the high negative relevancies, because high negative, like we just mentioned, is the subconscious themes that are going on. So I always select it, just always. Pink button again. And now it's checking all of the chakras once again. So these you only do once in the day. You can do it also in the evening, like morning and evening, to balance your chakras even more. But I only do it in the morning for now. There was a moment where I did it like 15 times a day, just because I was so curious. Yeah, I just wanted to see what kind of results came up when, basically, but now I do it just once in the morning. So now we did it again, same story here, you read it, you interpret with the codes on top, okay? And then, look, here, heart chakra. This is sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it's more confronting than good. So here the person feels deep joy more and more often, so that's great. So that's a good sign, but some of them are not as helpful. I mean, as supportive or positive, I would say, what comes up. So here you click vibrate, 1 minute 20, and you do it for 1 minute 20. Okay, that's it. That's for the like the aura, like the chakra scan. Here, aura analysis. So let me show you the other one, the resonance analysis. Same story, you select your profile, okay? This, you don't have to do anything about this. The focus, like it's always the same, you leave it like that. It's already predefined by Healy. And the whole idea is that to understand what do I have the greatest resonance with now, you don't have to do anything about this. You just press continue. And here you have all of the different collections of frequency programs within Healy, within your pink app, within the other app, okay? So what I suggested you start with is that you press all Healy programs. And here, once again, every time you see a pink button, you press it, basically. And here you put your finger on it, basically. I have my finger now here. You put your finger on it, and it's not reading your fingerprint. It's just for you to focus your attention on the scan. It's like it's just, you know, for you to focus. It helps if you set your intention towards what you want to actually feel like. It's going to influence the results, actually. So it's helpful to just, like, as you press, you're like, okay, how do I want to feel today? What is my ideal energetic state? So now it completed the scan, and it's going to bring up the programs that I have the most resonance with, so the most relevant for me right now, apparently. So the percentage indicates how relevant a program, the percentage that you see on top left of each program name, 78%, 60%, is how relevant each program is for me right now, how resonant I am with it, okay? So here it's telling me gold cycle programs, I am a match of 78%, okay? The other ones a bit less. So as a general rule, I recommend it's just easier if you decide that anything below 65% is not worth your attention, because there's going to be like so much. Everything above 65% are things that you can start paying attention to. So in this case, I would only look at a Healy Gold Cycle. Okay, so here we did the scan for all of the Healy programs, but there's a hack. What I highly recommend that you do, you're going to learn so much about yourself like that. We come back to the list of programs. Okay, what I do in the morning. Okay, I woke up, I did my chakra scan, I vibrated for 1 minute 20 seconds, then I came here, and now what I do, and the whole thing, you get used to it, takes maximum 10 minutes. It's not a big deal really, but it's really worth it. What I do is I go one by one, not all of the programs here, but I'm going to scan through every group of programs to see really in depth, really accurately which programs I am a match with. So for example, to give you an example, like the first one, Alaskan elixirs, I never scan it. Bush flowers, never scan it. Flower remedies, never scan. Back flower remedies, never scan it. Homeopathy, never scan it. Animal, never scan it, because of course, like I'm not, like you can do that for your animal profiles. If you have animals, you can create a profile for them and do that. Beauty, this is where I do start to scan. So I open this and I scan. Okay, it takes a few seconds, not even a second. Okay, great. Here it shows me, is there anything above 65%? Not really. So moving forward. Okay, so here we go. Resonance, I go back and I take the next program on the list. Defense programs, I do scan, because this will show you like if you're sensitive to electronics or so on. Anything above 65%? Not really. Okay, great. Here, notice that I'm not pressing the pink button, because I'm not going to vibrate on anything higher than 65%. This is just something that I do myself. It's not like a general, like, but I just don't do it because, like, you know, I want to just work on the most important. So here I go back. Next on the list is bioenergetic harmony. This I always do because it will just tell you so much about your internal, like your body, like your organs. So hormones always shows up for me on top, but it's not super extremely high. I'm going to go back and I'm going to do the next one on the list, harmony 2. All right. So whenever there's something above 65%, I'm going to screenshot it and save it here almost. But you're going to have so much insight into yourself by doing this scan every day. Like for me, to give you an example, I said this in a previous video, but the Healy through the scans understood that I caught COVID before I understood it myself consciously. Okay, so because I do the detailed scans every morning, you know, and in one of these scans it brought up like immune system support, immune system program, and another one that is lungs frequency healing program, both, you know. And I was like, what? And 2 days later I started having symptoms of COVID. Crazy. And I tested positive. So but the Healy, like, you know, got it before anyone else, basically. So it's really helpful to get insight into your internal status, because there's things that you're not like, you don't understand, you know, and the Healy really goes very like accurately in depth. Same story for, I also mentioned this, you know, in a previous video, but you know, I almost never drink alcohol, and at some point a few months ago I had 2 sips of wine at a special event, and in the evening the Healy was telling me like to do the alcohol intake. It's a liver detox program. Okay. It was telling me to do that. It was like an urgent thing, like very high resonance. It was like 85% resonance, right? It's like, oh my God, you know, and so it's really interesting because sometimes we don't notice, but the Healy like really gets what we need. So I'm just going to continue basically here. All of these I do bioenergetic. You can find out for yourself which ones you want to be scanning. I recommend to do as many as possible, so you start really understanding. Look, here we have 60, we're getting close. I'm just trying to find a program that I can screenshot. Chakra programs, let me see. No, not even. Okay, sometimes this happens. It's actually a good sign, right? But I wanted to, whenever digital nutrition is really is a good one. I also do this every day, this scan, because you can send yourself, everything is frequency, so you can send yourself nutrition like supplements through frequency programs. To give you an example, I always, in all of my blood tests, I always had deficiency of chrome, like who has a like super weird. I ordered some supplements and I started taking chrome supplements, and still my blood test still didn't show an improvement in my chrome levels. So specific. And the Healy like got it as well in the scans here in digital nutrition and vitals in another scan, that I had a chrome deficiency. And so what I did, because the supplements were apparently not working, is send myself digital nutrition via the frequencies on the chrome deficiency. I think I did like something like 5 minutes to be sure, instead of 1. And it disappeared. It stopped showing up in the results of the scans of the Healy and in the blood test results. Crazy. So here we are in the digital. So here you see we have higher percentage. So what I do here is that I screenshot. Okay, I just did a screenshot. Whenever there's higher percentages in the morning when I do my scans, I screenshot. Why? So I have the screenshots available later in the day, and I know what my program is for the day of frequency programs. Okay, every day is going to change, and I want to adapt it. Okay, to my intuition, there are certain days I just feel like doing something for emotional well-being or something for whatever, relaxation or something. But I also want to do what the Healy is suggesting. So here I do screenshots. Normally every morning I have like 3 screenshots with my top programs, and I can come back to them through the day to start the next program and the next program. So here we see a few highly resonant programs. which one? Gold cycle. So for the first 10 days, as I mentioned in my previous video, for the first 10 days of your Healy journey, you only do gold cycle programs. So it's actually interesting to do this scan only with the gold cycle. I mean, you can do, I would recommend to do all this scans so you get used to the process. But in order to figure out which is the most relevant gold cycle program to start the day with, you can do this scan here. Okay. Let me see which one I show you as well. So mental balance programs are amazing. Meridians, I also do every day. And here, that I wanted to show you, vital substances is amazing because I think it takes a bit longer. This is where it found my Chrome deficiency in vital substances. It will find nutrients that are missing in your system or lacking, or, you know, and then look, see, L-carnitine, like a high percentage. And here, what I do, here I do vibrate because I'm not going to do I don't have the vital substances program on the other app, so I cannot do a 1 hour balance. I actually want to balance directly the deficiencies that it found for me based on my results. So what I'm going to do with this is just action, vibrate for 1 minute or 5, does like whatever. Like for me, for these kind of things, the vital substances, I want to be sure that it's taken care of. So here I do, it's one of the only results from the resonance scan that I do vibrate on. Okay, it's great. It's like you're taking your supplements pill while you're still in bed in the morning doing your scans. Okay, so I'm going to stop it just to keep going. But we have done both scans, aura analysis and resonance. So I've shown you like how to like go about this. And well, now we have done it for me, but then you can choose, right, any profile and do the same, right? So basically, whenever you want to start, you choose whoever you want. You can do the scan on somebody else, right? As long as, what I do highly recommend is that you record the vibration face-to-face of people, because technically you can create profiles for people that are at a distance, like that live in another country, and send them frequencies at a distance. Technically you can, but once again, all the engineers from frequency healers, etc., from Healy, from the company that create videos, etc. This is what I do, watching all of their videos and so on. And what they explain is that in theory you can do it, but it is recommended whenever possible that you, with the Healy, with your Healy linked to your app, you record face to face. So by people taking it in their hands, the Healy, you record their vibration face to face as much as possible. In their profile, because then the Healy is going to basically like much more easily find their vibration in the information field and more accurately and intensely send them the vibrations. So what I do is, as I travel and as I meet people, and in my own city here right now, like I meet people face to face, they are curious, so I give them the Healy, they hold it in their right hand, I create a profile for them. And then now they are in the system, and I have recorded their vibration. So now I can go back home, they go back home, and now I can send them frequencies at a distance. But I have recorded it face to face. I made sure. So it's really like highly recommended that you do that. And then you can send distance programs. Okay. So this was it for this app. Yeah, for the Blue Dot app. This is an app about analysis. We've done both analysis, aura analysis and resonance analysis. The coaching analysis is something else. So it's actually where you actually have to decide on your focus point. I do this with some clients. I run a 7-figure business. For example, you have to decide on your focus points, and then you do the scan. This is a bit more complex, I have to say, as a scan. So you select, here I'm selecting everything, but you can do it in many different ways. I'm not going to go in depth because this is an extra feature, like a paid extra feature. And basically what it's doing now, the Healy, is it's scanning my different areas of life and energy and everything for the goal that I have written. So I grow like I run a 7-figure business, basically I become like well, yeah, my business gets to 7 figures at least. And it's going to tell me what I need to work on in order to get there. Okay. Independent happiness. I am happy from within myself. I do not need external conditions to be fulfilled and happy within myself. Okay. Basics of self-esteem. So it's going to like bring up this. I am able to forgive. So it's going to like, you know, bring up topics that you are like, it just recommends you to work on to actually reach that specific goal. It's also like very interesting. And then you can actually vibrate for 1 minute or the whole night, just like, okay, let me manifest the 7 figures. You can run it for the whole night. To be honest, I don't use it really often, but I got it because I wanted to experiment with it together with my clients too. And a few times that I have used it, it was quite mind-blowing how to find out how accurate the recommendations of the Healy were basically for the goal that they wanted. Okay, so that was it for this app. Look for the picture basically that I'm going to add here below the video that shows you how to interpret your results, because there you can just find the codes inside the picture and you can see, oh, this is a Karmate code. The picture doesn't break down exactly what every code means in depth, but it just gives you an indication of, oh, this is a life theme of yours, and this is a karmic code, or this comes from your parents, etc. And it's just really interesting to see that. So enjoy and see you in the next video. Ciao, ciao.